Ahoy everybody, and welcome to another installation of ranking every roller coaster at different theme parks around the world. Today we're taking a trip over to the Netherlands to one of the quirkiest parks I have ever had the pleasure of visiting. Walibi Holland is home to 9 roller coasters, but for the sake of this video, we're going to look at it as 10 roller coasters because their newest edition, UI, features 2 distinctly different experiences and deserve to be treated as such. So without further ado, let's rank every roller coaster at Walibi Holland. So before I jump into this, I do want to give this park credit. Out of the 10 roller coasters that they have, I would say 50% of them are ones that I would ride multiple times in a row, which is not necessarily the case at every park. Quantity doesn't always mean quality. But of course, that does not include the number 10 spot, which is going to their Vekoma SLC Condor. Now, there are tons of SLCs out there, but this one is unique in the fact that it is the first SLC that Vekoma ever built. So if you really care about having that little piece of history, you go right ahead and give it a ride. I, for one, will be waiting at the exit for you. It's safe to assume on most of these lists, if a park has one of these, I am going to put it last. These being built feels like such a thing of the past at this point, but it's only been like 10 years since the most recent one opened. Not including relocations, of course. But I personally could go the rest of my life without riding one of these ever again. And I'd be just fine. Yes, even with the new trains. At the number 9 spot, we have their Zier Tivoli Draco. Having opened in 1992, this is the park's oldest roller coaster. Not a ton to say about this one. It's a pretty standard model. I think they're fun. The trains are ridiculously long. That's about it. Now, the coaster I have at number 8 is one that I honestly debated putting lower because I was so frustrated by it. But because of the accounts from other people about how great it's supposed to be, I'm giving it a little bit of grace. Speed of Sound is just a regular Vekoma boomerang in every sense other than the fact that it is supposed to have onboard audio. It plays an EDM soundtrack that goes along with the layout supposedly perfectly. The first time I went to the park, it was closed. And then the second time I went to the park, there was no onboard audio. And it was so sad because it was hyped up to me a lot about how cool this boomerang was. And typically, I'm the type to skip those when I go to parks. So when we start getting pulled up the lift and there's no music and then we drop and there's still no music, I'm like, I'm just on a normal boomerang. But in concept, it is a cool idea. I love when rides are synced to music. So it gets a little credit where credit is due. At number 7, we have a super duper cute Zamperla Jr. coaster called Eat My Dust. I like that name. I don't feel particularly bad putting it over 2 thrill coasters because they're just, not comfortable experiences. And this is fun. It goes around twice. It's enjoyable. It's 39 feet tall, goes 25 miles per hour, nothing crazy. Perfect ride for kids, and the theming is cute. And now at number 6, we'll start getting into the good stuff. So if you're familiar with Disney's Rock and Roller Coaster, which is actually, as of when I'm recording this, closing forever tomorrow to become The Muppets, Express Platform 13 is the exact same layout, but outdoors. And let me tell you, it's a weird deja vu experience. At least for me, as someone who's had Rock and Roller Coaster in my life for as long as I can remember, the first time that I got on this and realized it's the exact same feeling, but I'm outside in broad daylight, Aerosmith is not playing, I'm not flying by all these neon signs. There's an odd sense of familiarity, but not. It's got a height of 85 feet, top speed 56 miles per hour, 3 inversions, like I said, just like Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, it doesn't have any theming once you're outside, but that being said, it has one of the coolest queues that I've ever seen. It's borderline like walking through a haunt maze. Even if you're not keen on riding this, because it's not the most comfortable experience in the world, I highly suggest at least walking through the queue and getting that experience. It's a highlight every time I go to this park. So if you live in the Netherlands and you haven't had the Rock and Roller Coaster experience, you could just take a ride on this, close your eyes, throw in your headphones, and listen to Walk This Way. You'll get the gist. Continuing on with rides that have awesome theming, at number 5 we have Lost Gravity, their mock ride's Big Dipper. Remember when I said that this park is super quirky? The area around Lost Gravity is like the pinnacle of that. It really showcases what this park does best, which is just coming up with unique, imaginative thematics. Come on, how many rides do you have to walk through a school bus to get to the station? The coaster is 105 feet tall, top speed 54 miles per hour, 2 inversions. This ride has just some weird movements and funky moments that make it really stand out. This, I believe, was the first Big Dipper, actually, when it opened back in 2016. There have been a handful of other ones since then, but none in the US so far, and I hope we get one eventually because they're actually pretty fun. At number 4, we have the Intamin Mega Coaster Goliath. which prior to 2025 would have been number 2 on this list. This ride is old school Intamin at its finest. It's got a height of 154 feet, top speed 66 miles per hour, features a very famous Stengel dive. I personally have a strong affinity for this ride, even more so because I got to operate the ride, and I believe it was the first time I ever got to operate any ride. Like I said, if you're a fan of like those old school Intamins with like the old school track style that are just all about like speed and power, you'll really like this thing. And it's got a handful of really fun airtime hills at the end as well. If I had to rank all of the Goliaths in the world, this would be pretty far up there, and there's a lot of them. So for our number 3 spot, we're gonna be taking a look at half of the park's 2025 edition, Yoi. So if you don't know, Yoi is a set of dueling Raptors by Rocky Mountain Construction, where one side is meant to be a bit more tame, and one side is meant to be a bit more extreme. When you look at height and top speed, the stats are actually pretty much identical. The biggest difference is that the chill side is focused more on airtime moments, and the thrill side has 6 inversions. Now, the chill side, or the blue side, was meant to be family-oriented. Now, I am a 30-year-old thrill seeker. I didn't get off this ride thinking it was that much chiller, if at all, as advertised, than the green side. So when I look at them both as thrill attractions, I had to ask myself, did I prefer all the airtime moments, or did I prefer all the inversions? And that is why at number 3, I have the thrill, or green side of Yoi. All the variation in the different inversions is awesome, but I personally prefer lots of airtime moments over going upside down a bunch. So number 2 would be Yoi Chill, or the blue side. It's funny because I don't think this is that uncommon of a take. I thought that maybe I would be weird for saying I preferred the more family-friendly side, but I think the consensus is that it's not as family-friendly as people probably thought. I mean, 95 feet tall for a family ride is like kind of a lot. I just have to say, overall, I think this attraction is awesome. I know that not everybody who has ridden it feels that way, particularly locals. I, for one, as an American, am very used to the way Raptors feel because we have a bunch of them here. Nobody's claiming that they are the smoothest thing in the entire world, but they have really, really cool maneuvers, and I love the idea of like having dueling coasters with 2 distinct experiences like this. The only other coaster I can think of that's really like that is Dueling Dragons over in China, where it has the inverted side and the sit-down side, but they don't even duel anymore. May that never be the case for this park. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the unrivaled king of this park, Untamed, another coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. This one, however, features their iBox track. It was a conversion from an old, not so good as far as I've heard, wooden roller coaster called Robin Hood. And it is now, in my opinion, one of RMC's best creations. Like I said, I'm a big fan of airtime, and this has so much of it. It's got a height of 120 feet, top speed 57 miles per hour, and 4 inversions. The entire theme is that this thing has been overgrown by nature, and it looks awesome. This is easily one of my favorite roller coasters in Europe, period. And check out the buggy on the front of the train. He's awesome. Now, with this park already having 10 roller coasters, many of which I think are really, really, really good, I think the most obvious gap in their lineup is they don't really have many launch coasters. Right now, it's just Express Platform 13. I think some kind of multi-launch experience would be fantastic at this park. There's definitely more thrill coasters than there are family coasters right now, and in that range, there's a lot of options. I'm sure whatever they put in next will have some super weird theme that I never would have thought of in a million years, and I'm gonna love everything about it. So that does it for ranking every roller coaster at Walibi Holland. Let me know if you agree with how I rank these, specifically the upper half of the list. I'm also very curious to hear if more people prefer the green side of Yoi over the blue. I don't know. I could see it going either way. And as always, let me know if there's a park that you really want to hear me do a list like this for. Until next time, guys, Dewey!